Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another round of the FSGA interview series. My name is Kyle Walkowitz, and I'm the Director of Junior Golf with the Florida State Golf Association. With us today, we have the one and only Tyler Wilkes. Tyler, how you doing?
Good morning.
Tyler, a little background on Tyler, or at least through FSGA purposes. He is the 2017 and 2018 Boys Junior Champion, 2018 Junior Player of the Year, and this fall he is headed to the University of Florida. Tyler, why don't you tell us how you got into golf? How did it start?
My dad started me at a very young age, so I was two sports until I was about 7, and then we stuck with golf. And my dad's been my coach the whole way, and he gets all the credit in that one.
What was the other sport?
Basketball. Still love to play, just not on a team. I'm too slow for
that. Jumping into Florida State Golf Association and Florida Junior Tour events, do you remember your first FJT? Do you remember when that was?
I think it was 2014 or 15, and I put up a massive 83, I believe, in my first round. Nothing good.
Well,
it was a good experience. I think I just like ponying and on it.
Ty, you broke up a little bit there, but I caught the first wave of it. It was 2014 at Carrollwood, and yourself short. It was an 82 in the first round, not an
82. Yeah, great.
And a 70. You followed up with a 75.
It was a good learning experience, though, and continued to build off of that.
Good. Yeah. Well, you could tell because, you played in a few more FJTs. So you got your first win in a FSGA Junior Championship, which was the next year, that July, at the Junior Match Play Championship, also at Carrollwood.
Yes, sir.
Run us through that weekend real quick.
That week, it's being my home course, and I had just recently joined when I played my first FJT there, so I had gained more experience on the golf course by the time match play rolled around. And I love playing match play, so when it's just 1v1, then you can hit some shots that you don't normally hit in a standard tournament. But that was a very special week, and I was very pleased to get my first win in my hometown.
Yeah, definitely. You were actually the number 1 seed coming out of the stroke play portion. And if I can do this right, I want to share something on the screen with you. You see that?
Oh boy, yeah, that's quite some time ago.
There it is, baby face.
Yeah, that's
Look at that, 7 and 6, 5 and 4, 3 and 1, 3 and 1. Beat Joe Pagden in the final.
Yeah.
I had to bring that picture up.
That's a long time ago for sure.
Yeah.
There's some good players in that field, though. A lot of good ones.
Okay, I want to make sure I knew how to get back to you. Yeah, it was a you look back at a lot of fields that when you started coming up in the 13 to 15 age division, and the fields are super strong. Jumping forward to those boys junior championships, 2017 as a 15-year-old, Bent Pine and Orchid Island by five shots. I think you bookended around 165 and a final round 64, or vice versa.
Yeah. I Bent Pine, I went 65, 64, and Orchid Island I shot even par that second day. Bent Pine just kind of suited my eye well, and with all the par fives that were all reachable, there's good birdie opportunities.
Yep.
And it was my kind of week, and I was happy to get the job done. And then Freddie, I believe he beat me day 2 with 64.
He may have. Yeah. I don't remember off the top of my head, but
But I mean, he's great player, and I was happy to get the win with him at being in the 16-18.
Right. So next year you jump up into the 16 to 18 age division over at Laurel Oak. Probably one of the most impressive final rounds in a junior championship that we've had, maybe ever. Maybe the most impressive back nine.
Yeah.
6 holes or so. You start that day 4 shots back, so you got to make a move.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe more impressively, with play, you were still 4 shots back. You birdied 5 of the last 6 holes, 16, 17, and 18, and you win by 1. Take us through kind of that back nine. Were you looking at live scores? Did you even know, or you just your mindset was, I have to make birdies?
No, so that was obviously a much different week than Bent Pine was the previous year. I had not played great, and the last day I had not made a putt until I got to 13, the par 3. And I made this 8-footer, left to right, and then all of a sudden I was 3 back and 5 to play, and just trying to make as many birdies as possible. And then the 12-footer on the next hole for birdie, that was huge, and I built off that quickly. And 16, I still remember it. 16, I hit it to about 12 feet for eagle and just missed. So I made birdie. 17, I almost made a hole-in-one, hit it to about 5 inches. And then 18's a hard par 5 just because there's water down the left. And at that time, my miss was left. So
And the whole location over on that left side, too.
yeah, and the whole location, you're not making 3 unless you're hitting it, unless you make a long putt or chip it in from over the green. So that was a good 2-putt, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough to get the win. I thought maybe a playoff was going to be the case, and I actually went to hit balls and just came over to watch, I believe it was Albert with the final putt.
Yeah, Alberto in that last group. Yeah, I remember you standing over there watching. It was pretty cool to see kind of, he made par. He needed to make birdie coming into the last hole, and you're kind of standing there at that. And you know that because you're looking at live scores. So being out there.
I wasn't really watching scores until I think someone told me coming off 16 green. Or someone told me on 11 and then coming off of 16 green. And then it wasn't until after I finished that I saw where everyone was at.
Right. Yeah, so it was cool to see. I mean, obviously super impressive golf and really cool on my end and our staff's end, me and Kevin and the guys that were out there to kind of see that finish. Something like that is a really cool way to end one of our championships. 17 and 18, or excuse me, in 17 and 18, you played in our state am as well.
Yes.
The first one was at the Bears Club in Lost Tree. Were you there for the meeting in the evening with Jack Nicklaus?
I was. I've had him as a guest speaker a couple of times now, and obviously he's one of the greatest golfers to ever play. So his stories never get old.
Yeah, listening to him talk is pretty cool. Huh?
Yeah, a lot you can learn off of in that hour or so.
Yep. 2018 was at Concession and Rich Bradenton, right? So talk about the, I guess,
yes, sir.
from those state amateurs that you played in, specifically the one in 18. You were in the final group in the 3rd round, and you finished T4. So kind of tell us what it was like to, you're not playing with juniors anymore. You're playing with the best amateurs in the state. So talk a little bit more about that.
For me, I love playing the amateurs just because you're playing against, some of the best out there, not just junior-wise. So that final round, I was playing with Mark Dole. And first of all, he's one of the tallest guys I've ever seen. So looking up to him was a treat the whole day. But he just played really solid golf, and he looked, you could tell he'd been there before. For me, I was just a junior. My confidence wasn't there yet at that level. So I played a nervous, front 9 and a couple holes on the back, and I think I shot 78 or so. but then again, that's just a big learning experience that I could continue to build off of in future events. And I came back in the final round and still finished tied for fourth, so that was a big deal for me at that time.
So with these experiences, obviously now your game is moving on to the next level. You're about to play college golf. You've got a few U.S. juniors qualified for the U.S. Amateur in 2019. The U.S. sectional you played in, the sectional qualifier, open qualifier in 18 as well. Talk about how the FSGA playing in these events has prepared you to take your game to the national level.
Yeah, so they've all, the amount of exposure you get, even FJT events, right from the start. My first event, Robbie Ice won, and he went on to play. He's at Florida right now. So, we get the FSGA gets all the premier players in Florida, and then for your amateur events, that's who you're going to see for a long time. So, like in the amateur, we were playing against all the college kids, and I like to see how my game compares to players who someone might view as more experienced and better, and I can identify my weaknesses and know what to work on for the future.
Yeah, and last year you had the opportunity to go play in Japan.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What was that like?
Yeah, that was my first time ever outside the United States. First time playing by myself. First time playing for a team. So, playing for the U.S. was a dream of mine when I started my career. But, Japan is nothing like the U.S. The golf course was wonderful, but it was up and down. In Florida, we play these flat golf courses, so that was a big change. And then you see the best players from around the world. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Tell everyone the name of the event, what kind of event it was.
It was the Toyota Junior World Cup, something like that. But our opening ceremonies were at the Toyota headquarters, so I got to see, where they make their cars and all that kind of stuff. And then we had 4 boys and 3 girls. We had, and then our captain was the Auburn coach, Nick Kleinert, and he was great the whole week. So he helped me a lot throughout that week, and again, just a learning experience and something I can build off of coming up here when I start traveling around the country to play.
So junior golf's done. I mean, you're basically, I don't know if you've got anything else planned with especially with all these changes in the schedule and everything like that. I mean, your junior golf career is over. It's the next step is here. You're set, ready to go to college. Talk to us about what your goals are for the future.
My first goal is to start for Florida, obviously, and then we plan to win a national championship in those 4 years. I think our team's going to be scary good, especially at the end of 21. Obviously, Joe and I are going to come in with Jonah Leach and Ryan Hart. I think we could be pretty dominant from the start, really, but we'll see in the fall if we can play those 5 events we're scheduled to. Just get a gauge of where we're going to be at for the spring season. Right.
So I'm pretty sure that becoming a Florida Gator has been something that you've been striving for a long time. Mm-hmm. Tell us kind of what it means to you, your family, to become a Gator.
Yeah, it was a childhood dream of mine to play for the University of Florida. So when I got the opportunity, my freshman year, I committed very early, and Joe beat me to it in 8th grade. But it was a very good time for me. And our head coach, J.C. Deacon, is maybe the best coach for me personally for my game that I could ask for, and I have full trust in him and for my future career.
Cool. One more question, and then we'll jump into what we've been calling the rapid fire. And I know this is what everybody wants to know. Everyone wants to talk about. And I was able to see it firsthand. the 2017 Junior Florida Cup. You're up in the singles matches the final day against Leo Herrera. And everybody that knows Leo knows that Leo is outspoken. So he had some trash talk going, and he's on the first tee, and basically as he makes contacts with the ball, he's screaming, "Let's go."
He didn't even finish the swing. There's no way.
You're more quiet, reserved, let your play do the talking. And it sure did that day. So kind of run us through that match, which didn't last very long.
Yeah, well, first off, he's a great player. He'll do great next year at UCF. He started earlier that week. It might have been even before the practice round. I was going to play Brett as a Florida FSU match. That was the initial plan, but he kept going and going, and we were at the dinner, and Greg Albright sitting right next to me. He goes, "You're not going to let him just keep going, are you?" And I was like, "Well, you got a good point." And he stood up, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go play him." And the room erupted. I mean, I have never experienced that in my life. But no, we got there that morning, and it was kind of funny because both teams were coming up. Like, you knew they were going to be watching. So, yeah, that first tee shot, he yelled, "Come on," or "Let's go," or something. There's no way he finished that.
Come on, actually. I think it was come on.
Yeah, it was come on. And I had hit it way right into the trees because, my flair, whatever. But there's a video. I think Justin has it, and if he still has it, it would be cool to see. One green. Not how I roll at all, but I make this 20-footer, and I think I stared at him before the ball even got halfway to the hole. And I went the whole way. Totally not like me in my golf game, but at that point in time, felt it was necessary, and then I birdied 1, 2, 3. I think I was like 7 under through 13 or something.
You were you birdied 5 of your first 7 holes.
Yeah.
You were 7 up through 8 holes, and you won 7 and 6.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And I think we do. I think we have video footage of that.
I know Justin was off of one green with the video. I saw it once, and by the end of the day, everyone had seen it, and they were making.
Because I think we have that putt on video, and I think Leo missed a little short putt on one that would have halved the hole or something. But he got you going.
I mean, I love it. But yeah.
Yeah, competitive fire. So speaking of that, we'll jump into what we do. We do a little rapid fire questions. So I'm going to ring off a few questions to you. We got a handful of them, and then you get me back with some answers, and we'll wrap this thing up. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. What course is on top of your bucket list? Where do you want to play that you haven't had an opportunity to play at? Your last round you could ever play? Say it again.
Oakmont. My dad grew up right near there, and that's where the amateur is next year. So that's a huge goal of mine to play there next year for sure.
TV. Were you watching any TV? What are you doing right now? Stuck at home?
The Last Dance.
Last Dance. Okay. I mean, obviously, everyone's been tuned in. For me personally, it's bringing back a lot of memories of basketball in the 1990s. Yeah,
because that was before my time, so I never really got to see him play. So.
You're kind of learning his competitive fire right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your go-to snack on the golf course, what are you eating?
I am horrible at that. Maybe a banana. I don't eat on the golf course at all, and I know it has to change, but it hasn't gotten there yet.
Okay. Who's your favorite musician? You listen to music?
I'm a country kid, so anything I can listen, but I'll listen to anything that I can understand the words to.
Do you prefer to walk or ride?
Walk.
Okay, that's good. What's something that you hate that everyone else loves?
Soccer. Cannot stand soccer.
Favorite club in the bag?
Driver,
hands down. Other than golf, what's your favorite sport? Is that basketball?
Yeah, basketball or football for sure.
Basketball, football. Your favorite emoji?
The gator.
Oh, obviously.
I don't use them. So
run down after, if you didn't say that. Never.
Yeah.
I've got a few more questions here. If you could go back in time to be at any historical moment in golf's history, where would you go?
The 86 Masters with Jack.
Okay, follow him around. Cool.
Once again, he's before my time, but you see all the highlights, and I'd be that round.
Which of these events would you rather attend? Final round of the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach, final round of the British at St. Andrews, final round of the Masters, or the final day of a Ryder Cup?
Final round of the Masters. That's close to home. I'd love to go play. Being that
I think that's that's probably the most popular answer of those.
Yeah.
One final question. You got Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning versus Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady. Who you got?
Tiger and Peyton.
Tiger and Peyton, huh? Okay.
Yeah. My own initials, and Phil. I mean, I love Phil, but he hits the ball everywhere, so you got to go with Tiger.
You know, if it was some sort of football thing, obviously we'd be going Tom Brady because.
Yes, but all the Bucs.
He's got that fire.
He's 43 years old.
I don't know. He swings a
Bucs fans are jumping to the conclusion a little quick. But I'm glad to see him out. Being a Steelers fan, I'm glad to see him out of the AFC.
Down here in Tampa now.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, as they call it now. Ty, appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see you again soon. Got plans to play in the amateur this year? I know it's not until December. I don't know how that's.
I probably will with it being in December now. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's back to the middle of December now, so things will be popping up. But for everyone else, our schedule is available on fsga.org. Entries are open. Hi again. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Be well. Stay safe.
Thank you. You as well.
Peace.
See ya.